Okay, so we were discussing free will. That's the point of contention here. Now, we have a three-pronged approach for this. And so it's something that I'm going to walk you through here. So here we go. Let's suppose I'm going to give you a gift. All right? And in this gift, there could be something that's going to kill you. There's going to be something that's going to be worth $1 million in there, or there's going to be something like a rock, something worthless. Now, me giving you this gift does not mean that I am at fault for whatever is in the gift, because I also do not know what the contents are inside of the gift. Therefore, me giving it to you doesn't necessarily make me at fault, because you're going to receive it and open it. Now, we can have a different gift, right? So instead of a mystery gift, we can have a different gift. We can have a gift where, so we can have 3 gifts where I know exactly what's in each of these gifts. So I know that this one has something that's going to kill you, right? There's my terrible attempt at a skull. And then here I know the gift is going to have a bunch of money, and then here's a rock. So now I'm able to choose which gift I'm going to give you, because I know exactly what is inside. So if I'm going to give you a gift that is going to kill you, I am therefore responsible for what happens, because I am fully knowledgeable of what's inside the gift. Same as with the money, same as with the rock. Now, there's the third approach. For the third gift would be a gift that it's the only one that I can give you. It is always going to have what it does, whatever it has, and the only ability I do have is to give you the gift. So where does this come into play when we talk about free will? Because that, again, is the main point of contention here. So we have a God that is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. Right? Those are the traditional traits of this God. So if we can accept these traits of God, these traits that are purported to be of this God, then we have only 3 possibilities. Right? We have a God who, just like the gift that he didn't know was in there, he can create a world, a universe, without knowing exactly what will happen, only that he is going to give this gift of existence and life. So that he knows he's going to create the planets, the stars, and even people. But that doesn't mean that he knows exactly what's going to happen. So if he doesn't know what's going to happen, he just knows that he's going to make this planet, this universe, and these people, and he doesn't know what's going to happen. Therefore, God will not be guilty of evil. Okay? Let's move on to the second gift. So the second gift, where God is only limited to 3 different types of universes. But he knows that if he chooses one, it's going to lead to something, right? Just like the gifts, correct? So we have the death, we have the money, and then the rock. So he can only logically choose these 3 types of universes, but he does know what it entails. right? So that's the entailment. So he's not surprised by seeing a rock or money or death when opening the present. So in this existence, if he knows that he chooses this universe, and in this universe, I, Jonathan, will be an atheist, then he is guilty of being an atheist. He's guilty of choosing this universe and knowing that there will be suffering of everything. Whatever entails in whatever universe he chooses, that does lead back to him choosing, even though there's only so many universes he can pick from. Now we get to the last gift. This is the most interesting one. So we have it where he can only choose, because he cannot create a square circle. He can only choose to make this universe in this exact way. Okay? Let's say he just has to make it where there's evil, right? Like if he chose the gift in the previous analogy, where he knows what's inside, but he can't control what's inside, he can only gift it, then we are now in a dilemma where we need good and we need evil. We cannot have a universe without those two things. That's perfectly fine. But he knows this and yet still creates it, right? So if he knows that this gift has death, he knows it. He knows that the gift might give you happiness because when you're receiving it, but then once you open it, you die. He knows that will happen, and maybe that's the only type of gift he can make, right? So if he creates the universe where he knows that it can only be that way, and there's no other way, because he cannot make a square circle. So then we're in this dilemma where he only has one option. If he needs to make a world with good and evil, but yet he knows exactly what that entails, meaning everything that would come with that, meaning children dying of hunger, slavery, just any type of atrocity. And of course, yours truly being an atheist, right? Like he knows that is inevitable. We can conclude that free will cannot exist. So in the first prong of this tri-pronged analysis, it's sufficient enough to warrant that when he does not know what is inside of the gift, meaning he doesn't know exactly what would entail with the creation, he is not at fault. And we can justifiably say that free will could exist because he does not know. He just knows that it's something in there, and whatever happens in there, he wouldn't be at fault. The latter part of this tri-pronged analysis would be that if he can choose from different types of universes to create, it would be that he still, even if he may not know or he does not know, he still has different options to choose from because he knows what's inside and what it might entail, even if he may not know the future, which his traditional characteristic is that he is, right? Omnipotence. And the third one, which I can say is the one that we live in now, is where he cannot create a square circle. This is the only universe he can make. It must have good and evil, and therefore he knows exactly what it entails. He makes it knowing that. Therefore, in conclusion, free will cannot exist.